This is quite pleasant.
Pleasant?
Oh,
This is
the
pretty
crazy
sandwich
like.
If you take a bite of it first and then put it in the water.
Guys, I really have to pee, but I don't miss the food, so do you mind if I just pee in the water?
No, dude, do I pee in the water? Are you serious? I don't mind if you go pee.
Scoot over.
Cool.
Baby shark,
Why's the water getting warm?
It never gets old.
Good evening, everybody.
It never gets old.
I hope everybody's having a good evening.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Yeah, doing pretty good.
glad y'all could be here. Beard, thanks. How you doing, man?
Doing pretty good. Did a little work on the car earlier. Finished basically right before I had to log in here, so my hands still smell of like grease and oil. It's pleasant, but also terrible at the same time. It's probably causing cancer and rotting my fingers off as we speak, but, you know.
Who needs fingers?
Yeah, I got another hand. It's fine.
They're overrated, you know.
Yeah.
Matt, how you doing, man?
Aging like fine vinegar here in the People's Republic of
Well, that's good to hear. And for anyone's information, the boathouse in Hereford is camouflage. Remember that.
Remember. Jacob, you still there?
Hello.
Okay, yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. I was worried for a moment.
Man, this popcorn is so good. Oh, it's Pizza Man.
How you doing, Mando?
I am doing all right. Just living the dream. Waking up at 5 a.m. in the mornings. You know,
Ew.
living the life. Living the life. I'm a little tired.
Yeah. That's
Mornings
That's
are the worst.
I realize that I'm more productive in the mornings, which sucks because I hate waking up early, but like I get more things done in the mornings. So
used to wake up to go fishing at 4 a.m. and hunting.
I'm a night owl. Sometimes I go to sleep at 4 a.m. I mean, I'm not incredibly productive the next day, but it's just what happens. Insomnia is well, it's a thing I don't say on this channel if I can remember to watch my language.
that's right. Watch that language.
You need to be Italian and learn how to curse with just hand gestures.
I mean,
I know a couple too, but they're pretty obvious.
Yep. Can y'all hear me? Am
Yes.
I back?
yep.
You're back.
You have
Okay.
returned.
Hello, chat. How you doing? Got the gourd king. saying
Yes,
hello.
yes.
What up, Gord
Have a good show,
King?
man. The OT. This
It's
is
a
his
good one, man.
other channel.
OT is CLS.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if he changed it or just started logging in another one, but it messes with my head every single time.
Well, they don't let you. I was talking to them on my stream. They don't let you when you have your main account. You can't spam change the name. You have to wait like 2 weeks or something. So I told them make the brand accounts for us so you can mess with people with those. You know.
That's the thing to do. What's
I
up,
have to show this
Zux?
because it's just too good. It's just too good.
That was very good.
And it's foreshadowing something happening next week. I'm always planning ahead.
Yeah. Yes. So Ronin, who's was this a first watch for anybody? The beard. And
It's
Mando.
usually a safe bet to assume that anything I watch is a first watch. Oh, God. CLS. Oh.
You gotta
Very
be
nice,
careful
man.
with that CLS guy.
You never know when. What is it? No one expects CLS.
He's like,
Very
Randy
nice.
Orton. I'll get you out of nowhere. You know?
Yes.
You can't see CLS.
So this just jumps right into it.
So before
Yeah.
before we jump into this, okay, technically that might, loosely speaking, be true, okay, but I have a feeling when a Japanese person watches this film and sees it called Ronin, they're like, wait a minute, Ronin still serve their original country. They're not mercenaries. You know what I mean? So like,
Yeah.
there's a little bit of, I just want to commenting on that because I know like this is our very westernized concept of what a Ronin is. You know.
Right.
Right.
Interesting note: in modern Japan, Ronin refers to out of work white collar workers. No.
Oh. Yeah, I think
Which
the name was an
it
interesting
probably
choice.
A disgrace to lose your master because you're like supposed to protect him.
Well, no. See,
but it's not like
it's you become a Ronin if you're not disgraced. If you're disgraced, you're supposed to kill yourself.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
right.
So, like, if there's a battle and your master just dies, but you don't suffer a disgrace yourself, you are a Ronin and could therefore potentially seek another master if you can prove yourself worth, a sort of allegiance.
So we'll just skip that part.
It is an interesting choice for the name because we never
jumps right into pairs.
Yeah, not to jump too far.
I still don't understand like the tie-in half the time. If I'm being honest, I'm like,
I'm still here.
What do you mean the tie-in?
Like, I guess for me, I didn't make the like. I knew there was supposed to be a connection between all of them being mercenaries and all of them, I guess, not quite working for the same people they used to work for. Like, we realized that some people are former CIA, former this, former that. But I still don't get the Ronin tie-in because they didn't protect, or the Ronins are those who did not protect their leadership, which I don't really feel like that applies here, but
well, you and I are looking at it from the more like literal, actual Japanese perspective than the sort of like anime knowledge of Ronin. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I do think it was a weird kind of choice for the title because we never get any kind of clear definition if, like, just for example, De Niro is still working for people or if he's actually freelance. So it's left very ambiguous. Not to jump all the way to the end, but I'm going to do that. We're 30 seconds in.
Yeah. Bye, guys. Have a good day. Have a good rest of your night. Show's over.
All right, that's it. Farewell. But yeah, this just like I mentioned before we went live, this just drops you right into the middle of everything. It doesn't spend a lot of time explaining. And I completely agree. I think it was you, Mando, that said that it's kind of like the characters. They just get dropped in. They don't know 100% of the information, and they just have to roll with it. And I think it works.
The movie has a bunch of jumps like that. When they go from the first place they were in a base, like when they're forming the team, and then when they kick Spence, these characters out.
I miss Sassy.
Hey,
and they go through the next place, and all of a sudden they have this intelligence. They just shows up out of nowhere, You know what I mean? So, like, I think there are jumps in this film where they just like give you enough to know that something happened, but legitimately you could skip that stuff in a movie. Now, I would love to see if they were to redo this as a one season like miniseries where they show that intelligence gathering and show maybe a couple of flashbacks to why some of these guys weren't working with their governments anymore.
Right.
I was going to say, there are also, time jumps too. There's like days go by when it's just feels like a couple days have happened.
This, by the way, is one of the rarer movies where De Niro actually acts. I'm not saying he doesn't act in all his movies, but he tends to play the same type of character in about 75% of his films. But in this film, he really pulls the acting chops out, you know?
Yeah.
I agree.
By the way, the director of this is John Frankenheimer.
Wasn't this his last movie?
I'm not sure.
Let me see here.
That's the guy who did The Manchurian Candidate, right? Yeah.
No,
Right.
well, it wasn't his last. That's what I say, but no. He did The Hire in 2003.
Okay.
Well, just
Yeah,
excuse me.
I like.
It's the guy who did the original and good Manchurian Candidate, to be correct about that.
Yeah.
There's several scenes that are like, they're just gonna play the same little, trick thing, but they actually point out that didn't work. They're like, that's not gonna work. That didn't work.
Yeah.
And it's good. They actually do some true things in this.
Yeah, this opening especially just kind of really lets you just
open the place out.
You just, how do I describe this? It gives you nothing and makes you think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, R2 is correct. I do have
Right.
Samurai Sword. I would not commit seppuku though. I'm not that dedicated to the Japanese culture.
You don't have that much honor. You're never welcome back.
Yep. I also have a tattoo, so I can't use an onsen anyway. Thinking I'm part of the Yakuza.
And despite the fact that she plays an Irish character, she is not in fact Irish.
I will admit some of the Irish accents that she and the other dude do as well. For those of you, well,
raccoons.
There goes. But anyway, for those of you who I don't even remember what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
she's not Irish.
Accents.
Yeah, she's not Irish, but also the accents aren't nearly as bad as some of the other ones, but they're not the best, in my opinion.
Well, the point I'm going to make is if they tried to make this movie now, since we don't have Jacob here, can you imagine all the stupid stuff they would change? Like they'd have to have Irish people playing Irish people. They have to have some strange woman on the team who has blue hair and could do ninja flips and stuff like that, and
That's right, the redneck Yakuza. Let's go.
I think she did all right most of the time with her accent.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she did.
It wasn't egregious, but I'm also not Irish. If you put somebody in a film that doesn't have a Southern accent and they overdo it, I will not finish the film because that's kind of what I grew up around. So I think her accent was okay. And I didn't realize until just now, I recognize her from the Truman Show.
Yeah, she's in a bunch. This is one of her early roles, but she was in a bunch of stuff. This is the dude, by the way, the guy who plays what was his name?
Deirdre.
No, the guy who plays the driver. Larry. No, what's the driver?
Larry.
Yeah, he's right on the right side there. Larry. Yeah, Larry. He wasn't he the guy in Heroes?
Heroes.
The telepath in Heroes?
No.
I think
that's a different,
that's a different
so. Actor. That's a different dude. Built the same hair, but it's a different fella.
Now I gotta go look. I've seen him in other stuff.
His name is Skip Sudduth. What?
I can't speak words.
R2, I have Scottish heritage. They wouldn't allow me to be Irish.
Well, he's been in Law and Order a couple of times. I probably saw him there.
You probably have some Irish, though.
If I do, not much. I've done the test. There's nothing on that island that's circled.
I need to do that because I know there's some. There is some Irish definitely German, and then there's some other stuff that I imagine.
Yeah, I'm Irish. I'm not Irish. I'm Scots Irish. So I have Scottish and Irish. I have English and French. There's a fire raging inside me.
Always at war with each other.
90-something% Italian, 2% Viking, 2 or 3% Arab, and 2 or 3% Black, which Sicily makes sense for all that.
All right.
I also have some Viking.
But I feel the Viking blood in my veins.
Yeah, the opening of this just kind of it takes its time.
It does.
And it's not a bad way in taking its time. It kind of lets you kind of get into the head of characters that you don't understand yet. So you're making guesses and assumptions. And
But also, it doesn't answer really any questions. There's tons of questions being asked, but none of them are really being answered.
No.
Yeah, there's not a ton of questions answered in this film.
You know, does it have to be? Does there have to be answers?
No, I think that leaving answers or questions unanswered can work really well. And I think this film does, not to spoil my opinion, I think it does a really good job of it.
Because it solves the actual mystery of the thing, of the plot, so to speak, you know?
Yeah.
So we know what De Niro was really, you know, what Sam was really after, you know, so at the end. So everything else could be left wide open because it's, you know, just there.
Sam wouldn't really after, I mean, we'll get into that later, but he wasn't really after the case.
Well, the case
everybody was after the MacGuffin, but except for him.
Yeah. And there's the man, the legend. Oh, I'm going to have to do The Professional at some point. It's a great movie.
Wasabi.
Maybe wasabi. I love how he just cases the place first before actually going in.
Yes.
This I don't get when he takes his gun and puts it, you know, behind the building. It's like if something happens in there, you're not going to get to it.
I think he takes a gun. I'm pretty sure he has more than one.
I kind of wondered that too, if he had another one. But even if he didn't, I kind of thought that it was I don't know if I'm going to get pat down whenever I go into this meeting. So I'm going to leave this here. And as we see, the first thing he does, well, like right after he enters, he asks where the restroom is and then unlocks the door that is right next to where his gun is. So he creates an access point to it just in case something goes south.
Yeah, like he said later, like he never leaves someplace where he doesn't know he can get out. He creates a path of exit that's not, you know.
Yeah.
And two, he does have some advantage of them not knowing what he looks like.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, because they don't know if he actually is just some random person walking in there wanting a drink or if he's the person they're waiting for.
Right. Yeah, like, can it have a look? Oh, I do have to say, when he comes in, he flashes a sign.
I didn't pick up on that. Oh, I thought he was just making like, I just want a small drink, but maybe that was
he is, but I'm just.
They probably have a series of signals, you know what I mean? Like the guy who got all of them.
That sign. I see what you're getting at, Jacob.
Okay. This is where it all began.
See, I prefer this one if you know the game.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Ow, that hurt. He's like, one drink. Just one drink. Le toilet.
The toilet.
Guess
The
that comes
toilet.
back. So if you know what a Frenchman, when he comes out of the bathroom is?
Oh no, what?
A European. Ha ha.
Oh my god.
You will not break me.
Don't challenge him, Matt. We'll get nothing but dad jokes for the rest of the stream.
Yes. She's like, why are you rushing off? He's like, what? Pardon? So she kind of figures that he's one of them. He doesn't deny it.
You one of the people we are looking for? I don't know. You tell me. That's kind of the whole thing.
She's
It's like asking a question and they're like, you tell me.
I don't know what accent you just tried there, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't exist on Earth.
I know I don't do accents well. The Southern just kind of mixes into everything and just makes it nothing.
Yeah, that's why I don't attempt them. It's just, no, it's going to be bad.
See, if De Niro were like not actually acting in this film, he'd be doing his classic, like, we just constantly inhales all the time.
Yeah. But I mean, for the most part, his performance is very subtle.
You talking to me? Huh?
Talking to me?
You talking to me? Huh?
I'm looking for some Irish chick.
All right, before we leave, just don't mind me. I need to pick up this gun behind a milk crate.
Makes sense, of course.
And the reason they asked this question, because I have a feeling, let's say this were real life, I have a feeling the other person wouldn't even care that he's doing that, because they all probably did something like that.
Right.
They show us just to establish his character. His character always has like a other plan going on, always thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, lady, I never go into a place I can't get out of.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate that line, and it sounds borderline paranoid, but you're only paranoid until you're right. I'll go into like a restaurant and I'll find the exits and I'll make sure I'm facing one.
I was
I always place myself where I'm sitting, facing the door with my back to a wall.
Yeah.
I was taught as a child, when you walk into a room, first thing you see is how do you get out of the room.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's just smart.
Yeah.
And if you're like George, you shove everybody else out of the way.
Yeah, the old ladies don't stand a chance around George.
No.
You never met my grandma. She would have shanked someone. I joke about it, but it's true. My grandma was legendary for decades for beating up a nun.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. I'm going to have to ask for that story sometime. Maybe not right now, but I'm going to have to ask for that story sometime.
And there's the Sean Bean right there.
Yeah. Sean Bean. Sean Bond.
Spoilers for the 20-year-old movie.
I've been watching Sharp.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah. This is the movie where Sean Bean doesn't die.
I was like the whole time I'm like, he about to die. He about to get somewhere. He's about to die. And he did. And I was like,
we'll get to the tunnel in a few minutes. And that's where I was thinking it's going to happen.
And I remember reading something like they thought about killing him off, but what's his face? Frankenheimer said thought it'd be too cliche.
I mean, I think what they did with his character was really good.
Yeah.
It was very, very good.
It's like, I almost turned into some raspberry jam back there. It's like, what? What does that mean?
I think it's one of those British slang things where they use a word that either sounds like another word, like you got into a jam, like trouble.
Right.
I like.
But I don't know.
I like what Spence how they leave it open. Is he like lying about what he was before, or is he just crazy? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like is he really? That's the guy who just got run out because he was crazy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
or does he have a drug habit? He's always doing these weird things to
He was
indicate he's not
probably-
all together up there.
He was probably just a regular soldier, nothing especially.
Probably
trained,
never saw combat. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering how he ended up there, though. If he was just a regular no-name soldier, how did he end up with these guys?
Or was he a plan to make De Niro's character look more legit? Because let's say he was an SAS. The SAS do undercover stuff, right? And they work with Americans. So we know Sam is going undercover legit, right? So what if they say, well, we're going to plant this other guy, SAS, in there, and you'll roost it as like a not violent to make yourself get over it.
And look at this guy. Look who this is.
Yeah. One of the scars.
He survived the hunt for Red October getting blown up in the sub. He survived.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
He survives a lot, except for the end.
Yeah.
Well, this entire, like, not just necessarily this sequence, but the following sequence where they're kind of talking a little bit about the early stages of the plan is really good because you get to know each character's role without them just coming out and saying, I'm the driver, I'm the computer guy. Because you see him walk in, he's got computer stuff with him. He's got the glasses. Okay, it's the nerd trope, whatever. And
good shot.
That's perfect pause. Perfect pause.
Yeah. I mean, even between these two, that if Sean Bean's character would be telling the truth and they're actually doing that role that he's saying that he's kind of doing, that would kind of put him and De Niro's character on the same playing field. But then we see this right here where Sean Bean's character is this kind of boisterous, braggadocious, kind of over-the-top character. And De Niro is the one that's just stay quiet, let everybody else tell you everything you need to know, read the room.
Well, is one thing. If you're after somebody and you would want, if they're on the same side and they're like both undercover together, you would want them to stay. So you have one other person that you trust.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
because at this point they don't know anybody else in here.
Well, if you analyze it, right? So, but would the Irish people running this really trust a former SAS agent?
I mean, if he's got the backstory of being disgraced or something and getting kicked out, then maybe. But it is kind of like what you're saying, man. It's like, why would how would he get there if he didn't have that history?
Well, yeah, that and De Niro goes right for him. Like, he's always focusing on him, like, and no one else is. Like, everyone else is accepting that he's crazy or whatever. So why is De Niro doing that? So that's why I think, like, kind of, like, he did. If he his background had been checked when we get there, then that means it seems fishy to me that he basically, like, from a pro wrestling point of view, he put De Niro's character over.
Yeah. I don't know if I necessarily agree, but I get your point. Yeah.
It's a good point. Yeah.
Well, again, they don't answer any questions in this movie, so it's just a point. We're just speculating as to what could have been. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. There is a lot of speculation room in this film.
Another good shot right up the nose.
Right? They just love the nose and the mouth shots right here.
Bruckenheimer, the
orifice. There's no boobs in there.
He's like, you filming my nose?
I like the back and forth between these two characters.
Yeah.
Oh, he's like, it's great.
So you management? He's like, if I was management, I wouldn't have given you a cigarette. And he's like, I'm the tour guide. Over there's the Eiffel Tower. Over there's the Louvre. Back there's the toilet.
Which actually kind of plays into his character, who he actually is, because he's the guy who knows where everything is and how to get things.
Yeah.
So he's kind of the tour guide.
And De Niro's always just gathering little bits of intelligence constantly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sam.
Yes, Sam and Vincent.
Vinny and Sam.
So they're after a case.
A case with, what, 5 to 8 guys. And I like how she arrives at that because it's 2 to 3
vehicles.
cars. Yeah.
2 to 3 cars. Yeah.
They're transporting Gwyneth Paltrow's head to the set of 7 in the case.
There are multiple times where I was watching this where in my head I hear, "What's in the case?
What's in the case?" Which you
And I
never
always
find
respond-
out.
I always respond, pain.
You know what I think is in the case? Skates.
A new
I think it was just skates the whole time.
It's another
it's
case that's just same with smaller people. And you're like, what the?
those Russians.
I think it was
those Russians and Irish will do anything for a pair of skates.
Because like
They're probably nuclear powered skates too.
Yeah.
who knows?
It's one of those things that people always wonder. So it's like, what is the case in Pulp Fiction? You never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
And she's always annoyed with Sam because he's like always asking, "What's in the case?" It's like, you don't need to know that.
It's like, we kind of at least need to know something about it. Like, is it heavy? Is it light? Is it got a bomb in it? Is it got weapons in it? Like, we need to know.
I mean, he is asking.
Some poor guy's hand.
Yeah, which actually is. We find out. But again, just playing into learning the different characters' roles, we see that she's in charge, but also not in charge. She's in charge of this group, but she's not in charge of the entire thing.
Yeah.
I like this guy's description of what car he wants, like some type of Audi, something that can, shove a little bit. And he's like, I have a nitrous system. He's got the specs for it. It's like,
and there's one of the later last lines for him during this is like, we're going to need to we're going to need some new injectors. I've got those for you. And again, it's just showing he's the car guy. He knows all the car stuff.
Right. And he's just an idiot.
He's just talking guns. He's the like middle school kid playing Call of Duty that's bragging about everything but has experienced nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we don't find out that last part till later, but
I got to imagine he's either crazy or playing crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the way he acts, like is he on drugs or is something's off with him psychologically? It's like just watch because Sean B carries the role in the background. So watch. Well, I mean, obviously we're doing stills, so it's tough. But when you're watching them film live, if you watch it again, look at it in the background. He's still always doing that twitchy stuff,
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, and Sean Bean always
that's a nervous thing.
Yeah.
Because he's, pulling stuff out of his back end.
I mean, both options are completely viable, and I can see both of the arguments of both sides of that. Regardless, I think we can all agree that despite not being in this film for the entire runtime, Sean Bean does, as he usually does, a fantastic role with what he's got, or a fantastic job.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you worried about covering your skin? Or covering your own skin? He's like, yeah, it covers me.
And some of the framing is really fantastic in this. Specifically, like actually earlier when they walk into the warehouse and they're all kind of staggered at different points.
Yeah, I like he asks for what is it, squibs? That's what they use in movies, right? To simulate gunfire.
Right.
And he asked for some of those. I thought that was cool. It's like divert their attention.
Mm-hmm.
He could just go the Home Alone route and light some firecrackers.
Yeah, that'd work. Just get a pot and some firecrackers. There you go.
That's right.
that's hillbilly though. You know, he didn't know hillbilly.
No, he's too fancy. Not raised in the South.
That's the one character they don't have in this movie. They should have just had a hillbilly guy in here.
The hillbilly would have been the one that just made everything work and the distraction, and nobody would think that this would be an organized thing with a hillbilly. Just throws everybody off.
Yeah.
Redneck ingenuity finds a way.
Yup.
Hey there, Tim.
All you
Sorry,
need is-
I got distracted. Didn't see you there.
All a redneck needs is duct tape, WD-40, some chewing tobacco, and then just random metal object.
A rifle, and a pistol. That's it.
Yeah.
That's about the only way that Martin could save that series, Tim, is bringing back Ned Stark somehow.
I like this part too. He's like the guy that
Okay, so
the
right
Irish
here,
guy,
the
guy that-
challenge. Sorry, go ahead.
the guy they were all introduced to this woman for is like he's like the, I guess if you need a job like this, you go to this guy, and he's like in a wheelchair or something.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And this guy's asking, how did he get in the wheelchair? It's like, I don't know. That was something in your neck of the woods during the recent unpleasantness. And I love this.
Oh, yeah. He's German. Oh.
He's Russian. He's
okay.
KGB.
He's playing German. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, KGB. He's KGB. That's right.
And this is so good. He's like testing this guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, bam.
It's like
Got those
he knew.
Spider-Man reflexes.
He knew, like, there's more to you than what you're saying.
Yeah.
And look, you can see her in the background. She's picking up on him testing him.
Yeah. Fast reflexes. Oh, yeah. They die hard.
Mhm. Okay, I just got to call this out. The silver Inox Beretta 92s. Oh,
yeah.
So good.
Nice.
Classic 80s, 90s guns. Oh, they look beautiful. Beautiful.
They are.
I also love the comment about the 1911. Like,
nickel plated.
You know, I don't necessarily prefer them that way, but those specifically were stainless steel.
Yeah.
They're even now used. They're nearly $1,000.
Yeah, and here they're just thrown into the pile of guns. Like,
yeah,
man, this guy's like, they taught us to indefinitely withstand torture. Yeah,
sure they
tell
did.
Them that when they start sticking bamboo between your finger or your toenails.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an actual SAS thing. They're basically taught to like die in torture rather than give it up. They're the most overtrained special forces guys. That's why like the world record for special forces guy. This is actually a thing they track. Like the longest like overland survival. Like the top 3 guys are all SAS guys. Sean Bean played one of them in a movie actually, where the mission went bad. I think in Iraq, and he had to go like 6,000 miles overland to a desert by himself with nothing, or some crazy thing like that. The top 2 or 3 guys are all SAS because they overtrained them psychotically. You know?
But they also train people how to torture too.
Well, it's not that they can train to resist all torture; it's that they're told kill yourself. You know what I mean? Like there's no.
I mean,
they're not,
die fighting.
Yeah.
Because if you're sent on a mission where you have no identification on you, there's no Geneva Convention for you. So
I know a guy, or I knew a guy who did some missions in areas where they would have a gunfight, and he would have to stop and pick up his brass because there were not supposed to be NATO cartridges in that area.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then De Niro's like, "No, you can't indefinitely withstand torture." It's like, did they make it hard for you? Yeah. They finally got me with a grasshopper. And this guy's like, what's a grasshopper?
It's what, 2 parts gin, 2 parts brandy, and 1 part. I can't remember the last thing.
Well, in America, we creamed them in. I don't know what will be there.
Yeah. Yeah, he wants to go with her to talk to her boss.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, no, you go with
I guess
him.
that's our first kind of inclination that his goal is not everybody else's goal.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But you don't necessarily know that at the time. And we know that because
of course not.
I've seen the movie multiple times in some cases. But like at first you're thinking, okay, he doesn't trust anyone. He wants to live through this and get his money. Like you're thinking like how like a mercenary would think about this stuff, you know?
Right.
And later on, you're like, oh, he was trying to end the mission early. Like he could have got to that guy who would just killed him, disappeared, and they would have been like, what happened to the mission? You know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because it's kind of crazy if you look at it right now. We're almost 18 minutes into this, and we still have basically nothing as far as info. We're just like these characters. We're just dropped in and we're going for it. And it's
these
fun.
guys are doing it for the money. You know, that's why they're there. Or why?
It's kind of like I got flashes to Baby Driver. You just show up, you do the job, you leave. The end. You don't ask questions about anything.
Yeah. So they're waiting for. They're buying guns, I guess. Is that right?
Yes, they're meeting to buy guns.
Yeah.
What was that, Matt?
I don't say. Do you remember Statham's movie, The Transporter?
Yeah.
That kind of whole thing, like Ronnie, where he just doesn't just he's on the mission, doesn't care what's in the case he's carrying. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Right. That first one wasn't bad. That movie. That's serious.
Yeah, I like the first one. I just didn't like anything after that.
No, me neither. And I have to say that Audi is nice.
Most of the cars in this, I'm just like, that car has been through so much and it's still going, man. Cars nowadays.
I want to bet they spent $2 or $3 million on wrecked cars in this budget.
And that's probably why they went with so many different sedans, because usually with like these kind of European spy things, you see fancy high-end cars or something really nice looking. Everything is just like a family sedan. And I kind of appreciate that reality kind of being grounded.
That's like one of my dream cars, to have just a regular looking car, but it's a sleeper, you know what that means?
Yes.
Like a real souped up engine and everything in it.
You got to look at the tires, because the car can look like garbage and the engine can be amazing, but if you got bad tires, it won't matter. So if you look at the tires, that's a clue. I like this back and forth they've got over like the strategy.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's all I had. Is like was it I gotta look at the names. Vincent and Sam, kind of the back and forth is the strategy. Like, you watch his back now, I'll watch your back. You go up there. All right, well, watch for this over here, and like, they're professionals. They've been here.
Yeah, they know what they're
doing. So I had some problem with this action sequence. I'm like, if you have guys with sniper rifles, just take them out like right there, you know? Yeah. So if De Niro can shoot that guy at that range with a handgun, that guy should be able to shoot him easily with a sniper rifle way further away.
Right.
Yeah. But these guys, they're buying the guns from, are French, so.
There are no untrustworthy French people at all. No.
Of course. The French are always the most trustworthy, honest people you'll ever know.
We love our French viewers, just for the record.
Yes. We're just giving you a hard time.
Hey, we named French fries in honor of how much we love you.
I had a croissant a while ago.
It's like,
so this is where he
the
discovers
guns
that
aren't-
there's not. Yeah, they're not all there.
right.
This guy who
No,
plays.
they're-
I remember if I've seen him before.
And I do have to say, he looks like somebody you don't want to mess with. Vincent
He
there.
always looks like somebody you don't want to mess with.
For Matilda. Yes.
Yeah, because this is where we're starting to see a little bit of a difference between how Sam and Vincent handle this. Because what is Sean Bean's called? Spence
Well,
is he's just like, oh, yeah, it's fine. We'll just go up there. They just got it up there. He's very trusting. Like he's playing out a scenario in his head. He's role playing. At least that's one interpretation. Either that or he's continuing to go along with this to, as Matt has said, to kind of build up Sam's character. But you see Sam and Vincent, they're very suspicious.
and John Reno has some sort of real life military background, so he probably knows how to play these parts.
I like
well.
Oh,
this part too. It's like, I'm not going in there. And the
And this is when you get another. This is one of the
You
scenes where you
think
get
too
De
much.
Niro, his classic like his facial expressions. You know, I'm not going in there. He did hold off on the De Niro accent popping up when he does it, though, which is
yeah.
yeah. Tunnels and hallways are not where you want to go if you think somebody's out to get you.
Or
Especially-
if somebody's being a little shady, I ain't going anywhere near that. Deal's off. Bye.
Or if they say, yeah, it's in the other car and they park it 100 yards down the other way, it's like, no, you drive that up here.
Yep. No deal. You drive.
And if
You
they
either
don't,
drive it all the
They
way
say,
here,
"Oh,
or
thanks.
Yeah.
We'll take
Let's send
these guns as
Spencer when
compensation for
something happens.
our
Mhm.
waste of time. Bye.
Yo, that's what I do. They're like, oh, if you're gonna waste our time, we're gonna take your guns, and if you have a problem with it, take it up with my manager.
His name is Beretta92FS.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, look, he's here.
So
That's
the
all-
only
It's like
thing I'll kind of give them for like why this guy waited so long to shoot is maybe they wanted them in the tunnel so they wouldn't be like bodies out in the open. I might be reaching there a little bit, but I don't really care. It works for the story.
I'm not. I mean, this isn't
Yeah.
a perfect movie. I'm just mentioning it because we're analyzing it, not because
Yeah.
So don't watch it because of this scene or whatever. You know.
He's like, oh no.
Yeah, that's put our
If you
most
don't
professional
know
guy on the
this-
sniper rifle. We got one.
Those tour boats that go up and down the river there in France, in Paris.
Sacre
They
bleu,
turn their
two
lights
boats.
on. They turn their lights on at couples kissing next to the river.
Oh, really?
Or people with guns. Yeah.
Mhm.
This guy. Hey, look, there's a guy with a gun. Oh.
Monsieur Assassin.
Look, there's a guy kissing the gun. Oh, that's the redneck in the movie.
Quick,
I
everybody.
mean,
Wait a
I'm
second.
not saying from
Quick.
experience.
Yeah.
And this heavy set fella didn't. I can't see. Yeah, that guy just absorbs a
It's
bunch
a
of
bad
bullets.
idea being in front.
Yeah, good thing he brought that little, automatic there. Or full auto.
I do like at the beginning when they first step out to buy guns, he says something like, we're here to buy guns, but that doesn't mean we didn't bring any.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's good.
Yeah. The way this car just slides around the corners is great.
Yeah, that's one thing this Frankenheimer is known for, is great car chases.
They are really good. And like I said earlier, even just the car choices makes it feel more grounded in reality.
Yeah. I mean, that's not an uncommon car to see multiple of, you know. So it's just
Right.
like look past that car. You're not expecting it to outrun you.
I worked security for a short time, and at the time I was driving a black. Oh, what was it? I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was very just nobody's going to pay attention to it. It looks like a family car. And my boss is like, this is just about the perfect car because nobody's going to pay attention to you sitting in that parking lot, making sure that nobody's breaking into that building. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. He does what a lot of people do when their first time in a firefight. He has to get out and throw up.
Yeah, his adrenaline is crashing because we see as the chase is going on, he's almost like celebrating it. Like he's excited, he's happy, he's enjoyed it. It's like he's just attended a party, and now everything's kind of come crashing back down in the reality of like death and like his mortality.
And this is like, I guess, a life experience, like kind of different life experiences. Everything I'm getting the vibe from the character is he's a drug addict who hasn't had drugs in a while. He's pale. He's throwing up because he has the drugs to regulate his emotions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see where you're coming from now.
Because I've known a lot of drug addicts, so I've seen that behavior in real life. You know what I mean? What's it, our thought amongst women, Mando?
Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Don't do it again or I'm kicking you out.
I like this part. He's like, why are you here? And he's like, I need the money, my friend. And he's like, I have the money right here. It's like, we could just split right here and have money.
Yeah.
Yep. It's like, we don't need to continue to risk our necks out here.
And there he is.
Elizabeth Swan's
He was
father.
a bad guy. Is he a bad guy in GoldenEye?
Well, Sean Bean was a bad guy in GoldenEye, that's for sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. I forget the one he was a bad guy in.
This is Jonathan Pryce. He's been in a lot of crap.
Better ones. Yeah, he has.
We've seen Jonathan a ton.
He was in Tomorrow Never Dies.
Yeah.
He
was in Brazil. We talked about that on Roman's show. He was a bad guy in Jumpin' Jack Flash. He was. Oh my God, he's in Adventures of Bad Munchausen. He must have done. Wow.
So he's done a bit. So he's like, we have to move now. They're gonna sell it to the Russians. It's like, we can't let those Russians get those skates. Okay.
Right.
They'll win the Olympics.
Again.
They won't even need the performance enhancement. Oh, never mind.
So they're so the buy is going to be in Nice along the French Riviera. So.
Also, like, thinking that Sean Bean's gonna die, obviously, that's always the expectation. I thought the reason why he threw up before I realized, he just couldn't handle it. I thought he maybe got shot, didn't realize it till like the adrenaline went down, and then I was like, wait a second.
I did have that thought briefly too. That like he was trying to hide that he wasn't shot or something.
He almost became Raspberry Jam. So.
But going back to what Mando says, I mean, these guys all got picked by that wheelchair-bound guy or whatever they were calling him.
Yeah.
So they have to, it can't have been a total noob, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But again, like I said, they don't answer questions. It's open to interpretation, so we're just throwing it out there.
So he's like, I want such and such amount of money before and after if we're gonna, play amateur. So she's like,
Yeah.
okay, I'll go make a call.
Yeah, because they were offered something like 20,000 before, like now, and 20,000 after, and he just ups it to, I think it's 100,000.
Mm-hmm. Before and after. Well, I mean, at this moment, a quote unquote routine gun trade by, like, which should have been pretty standard routine, like they already got like shot at for, and they don't know why. They don't know who all's connected to whom at this point in time. And they're like, if you're not going to tell me any information and I'm going to be risking my neck every 2 minutes, I better get paid a little bit more than this because this is not worth it.
Yeah.
Also, if you think about it, him upping the paycheck makes it more likely that they're going to come out of World War to try to kill him rather than pay him, which lures the guy who wants out, you know. So in light of what we learned at the end, that you know, on your second watch through this, like I said, you just notice things, you know.
I'm going to go ahead and throw this out here real quick because I just had to look it up. Raspberry jam, according to the Urban Dictionary. A skirmish, typically close quarters between two relatively equally armed forces. Notable casualties on both sides. Often the strength of one side, usually defensive, isn't expected by the other, usually offensive. So, yeah, it's you get into a little fight. That's raspberry jam because he does go off and say raspberry jam lots.
Thanks, Beard.
Yeah.
Now you know.
Urban Dictionary.
Now you know.
I know it's half the battle.
Yeah, it's almost as reliable as Wikipedia.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
At least they don't beg you for money.
This right here, to me anyway, proves that he's never had military training. Because if you'd had military training, you wouldn't put two shooters straight across from each other.
Right.
Right.
He would probably
still just... It just doesn't, besides like maybe Matt's theory about him like just being a plant, like I don't understand how this guy would have been here if he hadn't had some sort of background in that. Like even if he was in the SAS, maybe he got addicted to drugs and that's why he got shoved out and like maybe that's messed with him since then. But like this whole scene with him like making stupid rookie mistakes like that, like I just,
because the same guy like picked all the other people who are like top level guys. Why pick him? You know what I mean? Like how did he get in?
Yeah.
You know, and then like that man point on that Mando. I didn't even think about that one. But that's why I'm thinking either he has this severe drug problem, which makes him crazy like this, or he's a plant. Or both.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Like he is kind of reminding me a little bit of somebody I knew who, at the same time as knowing that special forces dude, this other guy, his greatest accomplishment in the military, he never saw combat and he played in the Bugle Corps. And he dared go toe to toe with a special forces guy and a paratrooper one day. And they just called him out and said, all right, bring your DD-214. If I have that right, with your discharge papers that says everything that you did and all your skills, your qualifications, and then suddenly this guy's like, "Oh no, we don't got to do that." Oh. I'm kind of getting that feeling from Sean Bean's character here.
Yeah, and you know the guy in the wheelchair. How do they know he's in a wheelchair? It could be some CIA guy, and just let's put this guy that doesn't know anything so we can make sure our guy they know he's like what he's doing. I don't know, that's almost dangerous though, because you could be just unhinged and just go shooting everybody.
That's why I don't I my main theory is he's an actual like real undercover SS guy who's a plant setting up De Niro, putting De Niro's character over as someone who you need to listen to in that group, you know?
Yeah.
I'm leaning more that way as we go.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, try it again. You do kind of see Robert De Niro here. It's like, try it again.
Yeah. He almost does the little, you know.
Yeah.
And again, she's
like
in the
this
back
scene, though.
watching,
He's like-
studying.
He's like, "You have the gun? I don't have anything." And he slowly backs him up into his coffee.
Then the German guy's like, ready. German.
Mando, he's Russian. He's Russian. He's not.
She gave air
German.
quotes.
Oh,
He
okay.
introduces himself as a German, though.
Well, he's
that
supposed to be a
that's
German guy who worked for the KGB.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, East Germany was basically
Assuming
like
the
Russia, Russia
cut-
Part 2 during the,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
All sorts of weird, nobody actually cares anecdotes. I also knew a guy who worked security in a hospital where they didn't allow guns for their security force, so he always carried a hot cup of coffee. He didn't ever drink it, and he always refreshed it and kept it as hot as possible because that was his defense. If something happened, he was going to go with a hot cup of coffee to the face.
Hey, that stuff,
That's
it
not bad.
burns your eyes. It like is bad. So
Mm-hmm.
I had an uncle who had a limp, but there wasn't a real limp. He could run and everything, but he used to always carry a steel cane around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cutting edge 1990s computer technology.
yeah.
And she's like, "Here's your money to compensate you. May I
No, go
suggest you
home.
forget about us? Because we won't forget
Because
about
we
you."
won't forget.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. That's a good line.
Yup, we won't forget about you.
Yes.
Just the shame on his face is like, I mean, he got his money,
Look how
but for like, and he doesn't have to put himself at more risk, but it's just like, oh, dang.
I got the impression you take that money and go shoot up on heroin. Look how pale he is.
Yeah.
And that or pay for his chemotherapy treatment. I mean, look how pale. Like,
Bruh, he looks like he like just from the beginning, he looked like he was about ready to just
yeah.
Yeah, and the driver is also a cook,
Larry is a cook.
Larry.
Oh, yeah.
I just looked this up. His name is Skip Studis, like you said before. He actually did most of his character's driving stunts.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
Yeah.
So there's the case they're after. He accidentally dropped some cigarette ash in the coffee. Gives it
Just adds flavor.
adds a little flavor, a
Mm-hmm.
little smoky flavor.
Man, do you know how much cigarette ash must have been? All the food and stuff that we ate. Well, those were all the ate.
Oh, it was everywhere.
Oh yeah, yeah. And he's back at what's in the case. It's like something we're paying you for. And I love how they just each new piece of.
What I'm saying, in light of what his real target was, him constantly asking what's in the case is a nice sort of like misdirection as to him actually being after the Irish leader, the Irish terrorist. You know,
It's really, yeah, that's good. I also like that each new piece of information they have, it's like they go over the plan again, and they're constantly. It's good. I like it. I like that.
Well, as information is revealed to them or discovered, you have to plug it in and readapt.
and also there was a time skip like in this between the last line they left where Sean Bean was and here. We clearly gathered a lot of intelligence.
Yeah. So now we know that the guy goes between the villa and a hotel. I would just stay in the hotel, in the villa. Just stay in the villa. Why go out from the villa? So he makes her dress up like they're a couple.
And she doesn't like it.
Yeah.
No, I'm uncomfortable. I don't like this.
It's one of the oldest magician's tricks, though. Get the hot chick next to you so they don't look at what you're doing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's the unfortunate soul.
Yep.
Why do you have to be bald?
Unfortunate soul.
It gives bald people a bad name. Come on.
We're not all out to destroy the world or carrying weapons of mass destruction. Some of us are.
The villain is Lex Luthor.
It's a fantastic sequence. He's like, just do this, and he's actually taking pictures while demonstrating, taking advantage of everything, and she just looks so uncomfortable.
She looks so happy, Sabiha. So happy.
I like
That's
this
what
too.
makes it authentic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sets up like a little trap here to make a loud noise.
Just to see their reactions, which, I mean, not just their reactions, you get to see how many people reach inside their coats, so you can kind of get an idea of how many of them are carrying firearms.
Yeah.
What's the case?
It's John Wick's dog.
Yeah.
Gotta be.
It's the 11 herbs and spices for KFC.
I'm not saying the same thing. It's a secret KFC formula.
It's K9 in there. That's what it is.
It's a secret formula for Worcestershire sauce.
Yes.
Yes.
It's a secret sauce created by a French rat. So they're all just.
I think John Reno's lighting his hair on fire on the previous clean.
Let's test him. Let's test this guy. We will light his hair on fire.
That was an old Italian practical joke when people used to grease their hair up in like the 30s and 40s and they'd fall asleep. You put like a match in their hair and light it.
Oh.
Nothing like potential for second or third degree burns for, practical joke.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Did you see him run around with his hair on fire? Ha ha ha.
No, they're going to have to take some skin off his leg and put it up there. It's hilarious.
Hey, I'm not saying it was sane. I'm saying they did.
Yeah.
Look,
a lot of practical jokes.
You don't have to go that far back in history to just show how dumb we were, or even right now.
So they're still waiting around.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to kind of convey to folks the story so far, because the story itself is pretty basic, and they're just gathering information. But dang it, if I wasn't just like stuck to the screen the entire time.
Well, it keeps your interest. There's almost no like I complain all the time how long modern movies are, and this is pretty long. Although I think I watched the remastered extended version, which is even longer than this. But it's pretty long, but there's very little like you can really cut out of it. So it's not badly paced, I might have quibbled over like I don't know, some of the some of the excesses, some of the stuff at the end where they're like, you know, they just ran to other rooms to shoot someone instead of shooting them when they were, like little things. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's the film makes you want to watch it. You know.
Yeah.
Well, also, like, at this point in time, like, if you're looking at how much time is left and, like, you're like, okay, they're starting to get close to the end goal. My first instinct was someone's about to betray them. They about to get double-crossed. Someone's about to double-cross them. There's no reason that this movie would be so long if it was just this.
Well, that's a trope of the genre. I went into this expecting that. You know, I was like, who's going to be the traitor, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I will admit, I did not expect De Niro to have a different mission. I thought De Niro was still working for the American, like he still was a CIA agent or whatever, but I didn't expect him to be going after the Irish guy. So
Something interesting to point out: you see all these, cars like this in these movies doing all these slides and stuff around. You cannot just get into one of these fancy cars and go doing all that. All the systems in that car designed to keep you on the road will keep you from doing that. So you have to rip out a bunch of stuff to, yeah.
But granted, this guy probably knows how to do that. So, you know.
Yeah. It's probably an all drive too.
Oh, it is an Audi, yeah. Yeah, you got
That's a job I would never take. The dude who has to have a briefcase chained to your wrist. Because you know your hand's getting cut off if he gets kidnapped. I'd be like,
oh, immediately.
Yeah.
So it's 4 cars. They figured out that it's 3 cars and a backup car.
Oh, yeah. So it went from 5 to 8 to 8 to 10. That's right.
Yeah. And there's his squibs there.
I did not expect De Niro to go full, multiple bazooka shots.
Yeah.
No, Jacob, you're right. It was an all-wheel drive. Sorry, I had to look it up. Until you mentioned something, it didn't pique my interest, but I had to look it up.
Yeah. I like cars. What can I say? I like this part. He's like, Vincent's like, what do you want for Christmas? My 2 front teeth. And he's like, may your wish be granted. Oh, these, again, I like these little things here. It's a grenade launcher that they made to go on a rifle, but it made the rifle so heavy it was hard to use the rifle. So they just made it into just a little grenade launcher by itself.
And this is where they just start mowing down civilians left and right.
Yeah.
Like in the news today in France, hundreds of civilians were killed by men shooting machine guns at one another. Next day, today, hundreds more civilians were killed by men shooting bazookas at one another.
So many civilians just caught in the crossfire. Who knew?
Like this would have been like if this was a real
did
world.
Not know that guns are illegal in France.
Yeah.
What?
So if this were the real world news, this would have been like France's 9/11. That's how many people got killed. You know,
they just go off.
Yeah.
Well, he unloads with rocket launchers. That shrapnel probably was killing people left and right. You know.
Yeah, I just pulled it up. The grenade launcher Jacob was talking about is an H&K 69A1, a 40 millimeter grenade launcher, and then shortly after that, he pulls out a Law 66, which is just a straight up rocket launcher.
Like all that shrapnel was probably killing people way in the back. That would kill them. You know.
He's like, well, no, someone is shooting at us.
He's like, oh, suddenly I really wish this thing wasn't attached to my wrist.
Yeah, I'm trying to show where is it?
Yeah, it's going to be hard to convey how good the car chases are in this. So people need to go watch it for themselves.
Definitely go watch it. Trying to show that. I like that gun too. I forget what it's called, but
that is I'm going to look it up. I've got the database up right now.
The Civilian Eliminator 105.
That's the SIG. That's the SIG SG 551.
Yeah. Oh, there's your gun. Beard.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
The guy in the background like, Lee gun.
I have a Beretta 96, which is a 40 caliber, but yeah, it's not in silver.
This big Frenchman pulled out a big gun and blew people away.
I did not even know where to run.
You know, you're giving folks a lot more credit than I think. I mean, they're not going to look up from their espressos. It's just like
every single person in that fruit stand, if you watch live, it just drops like a rock.
And they're just standing there. Come on, people, get out of the way. Get down.
What?
I mean, there is an actual thing called like normalcy bias, where if something falls so far outside of your normal experience of reality, you don't know how to respond to it. And that's why you see people where there's like a violent attack or something, and they just kind of stand there and look at it for a few seconds before their brain finally kicks in and says, you need to leave.
Run away!
You
that's not why I'm
the
joking
shot
about
here?
it. I'm saying these are supposed to be covert operatives fighting covert
Oh
operatives.
yeah. Oh yeah.
And having a gunfight with him murdering hundreds of civilians.
We've just switched to action movie now.
Yeah.
Do you notice anything odd about this shot right here?
The word restaurant?
No, the smoke. It's fake smoke.
Oh, it is.
It's like
I noticed that when I watched it. I was like, that looks wrong.
I mean, it's not bad, but it's not great.
Isn't it the smoke from that smoke grenade he set off in the bush?
It might be. But it still looks fake, though.
But yeah, like specifically in this frame you have it stopped on, you can see the line between the car on the left. There's a clear definition between that and the smoke.
Yeah.
Well, this car on the right, that's bullet shot, that's where the two dudes were, right, when he set that off. John Reno came up, I think, killed them, and then he stood behind that car with a shot at him. I think that's what happened. 1990s elite computer technology.
Yeah. Oh, this was a good scene, too.
Another rocket launcher. I love it. I just love it.
I mean, there's not very many lanes on that road. They're in front of you. You're still going to have to drive through that.
They drove through the fireball. I don't know if you caught the angle. They would have to drove through the fireball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, damn, I still got this thing on my wrist.
It's like, oh, well, this is going to be the reason why I die, of course.
I like how all these guys are wearing Raycons in their ears. Just waiting for the sponsorship to come up.
Brought to you by Raycon.
Holy crap, drive faster, drive faster.
You know, I think I would be panicking a lot more if I just watched half of my convoy get exploded.
I'll be getting Lee gun out and shooting the thing off my wrist.
Just throw the case out the window. Just, here you go.
And they go off-roading.
Imagine if he did that and it just wrecks Pacino, Sam's secret mission to get the Irish guy because the case blows up or something. And be like, let's see, you killed 300 civilians and you didn't even get to the guy who was supposed to kill. I'm like, what?
Yeah, they totally wreck this little market, this farmer's market here. It's like,
remember how in the Bourne movies in Europe, they have these gunfights and there'd be like thousands of cops chasing him around?
Yeah.
And then we get like one cop car in this movie.
Mm-hmm. Where are all of the police? It's like you hear large explosions. It's like, oh, yes. We should probably go investigate. Billy and Joe are on it. That's fine.
Let's go.
They have the guns. We don't have to go in.
Let's go get in the little police golf cart. Stop there. Oh man, this too. Just these little bitty. I mean, that's probably a motorcycle with a camera on it, but still.
Oh yeah.
Some type of street there.
What is this is my IT thing. Like, what is all that cabling in there for? That's the one that I on my computer's problem. Like, you don't need all that cabling for what the gear he has.
Cable management, man. Cable management.
All this
Hey,
back here.
at least he's got the gamer chair.
There's all that cable
think
there,
this
and then
stuff
above his
back
head
here-
there's even more.
I think this right here is holding things in
But there's at
because
least
they're going to be, driving pretty quick with it.
there's
I
at
don't know,
least
I'm just
5 or
guessing.
6 gauge cables right there. That's enough to pump like I don't
Yeah.
know, like 1600 amps of power to that van.
Oh, these are in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I mean, granted, yeah, some of those kind of look they're big enough to be like an audio snake, where all your mics connect up on the stage. And you got a big old thick bundle of cables that run to the back. But don't think about it; it's fine.
Well, it's just
This
not
is high
nice, yeah.
technology. We can never anticipate, this.
Oh,
Product placement.
he just rams him right into other people.
Kills a bunch of more civilians.
He's like,
Grandma's up underneath the
Nobody
tire.
cares about the French, man. Not even the French.
Whatever viewership, Jacob, you had in France has just dropped to 0.
yes.
Sorry,
Sorry, uninspired. Sorry.
He'll never talk to you again.
Yeah.
Why has he never responded back to me? You hate the French. I'm sorry. You guys hate yourselves. Look.
Hey, I can say it because I'm 1/4 Cajun. So
That's a little bit of a pass. Maybe not a full pass, but it's at least half pass.
The French stole their culture
Yeah,
from the Italians, so I'm allowed to criticize them.
well, at least he didn't get his hand cut off. That's good.
I was thinking the whole
He's dead,
time they were
though,
going to
but he
get some
didn't get his
giant
hand cut off.
machete and just whoop-ah.
Yeah, he just puts this little bitty amount of explosive. Boat.
Right? Like, bring out the machete and just
that's
yeet.
I would have cut his hand off on moral principle.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm ready to cut off anybody's hands. That would be. This is for lawn work.
Yeah,
Of course.
yeah. You cut off his hand as a warning to other people that chain stuff to their wrist. If it's valuable, you're going to get your hand cut off.
Give him a T-shirt that says, "I carried the nuclear football, and all I got was my hand cut off."
Right.
Yeah, like this.
You-
too.
every
It's like,
time you're going to see an amputee now with like just without their wrist, you're going to be like, were you holding the football?
yeah. So he sees that there's fresh paint on that case, and he's like, "Get rid of the case."
Yeah,
Bro,
I must
if
have
that thing
blinked.
had gone off.
Oh yeah, that would have gotten all of them.
Kills everyone hiding in the buildings. Like, the bomb, the bomb.
Another explosion. Why are there so many explosions?
Yeah, they're having a
Funeral mass for all the dead
this
French
for all the
people.
French people that were killed.
They lit a candle for every 10 people that died.
God.
Yeah. Yeah, he got jacked up pretty good here.
They lost a lot of blood. So.
Yeah.
Still did his job.
Yep.
Yeah. And she's like, "Oh, you lame people." It's like,
De Niro is still on mission.
yeah. So they need to get like this guy's phone number so they can track him, but they don't know who has the equipment for it. But De Niro does. This guy.
Everybody with their tiny coffee cups in this movie. Ugh.
Well, they did get a Jeep. That's a mark for. That's good.
Yeah, and they drove
That's a
it
thumbs
15 feet.
Yeah, this guy really is sadistic.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he's like, to prove a point, he's just gonna kill a little kid.
It's just a random kid. It's like, bro, we get that your childhood probably wasn't that great because you got fed to bears, but dang.
I remember dimly something in his backstory, like they were talking about in interviews where, like, his family was like murdered in front of him or something, like his wife and kids or whatever, so he became a sociopath, something crazy extreme like that. I don't know. If I dimly remember that. I don't know the whole.
Yeah, I like this part. How the other guy, had another gun hidden. He's like, "Oh, how do I?" And he just jumps the car forward, and that's it.
See, like, I guess I might just have an itchy trigger finger, but like the moment I feel movement, boom. Like, I don't know.
Raspberry jam. Oh, sorry.
I mean, there is, regardless of what your intent might be, and you think at the moment, the delay from from receiving the input, your brain making a decision, and then executing the action is a lot longer than we think it is.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
Yeah, that was some awfully strong consumer grade car glass there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And this guy's just
running for the French civilian to
think of how you will skate when you get. This guy's like, just those special skates.
This scene right here is the reason why I was like, maybe it's just skates. She's an Olympics like skater, all this stuff. Maybe it's before everything else that happened. I was thinking, well, maybe this is like a personal, really expensive pair of skates or something. I don't know. And it is a skating like case.
But when we first see that guy, I think his first lines is, at least the subtitles that I had on while I was watching said "clever girl," which immediately made me think of what's his face, Muldoon. Now, then I immediately started picturing like Velociraptors figure skating, and had to back the movie up several minutes because my brain just kind of went off in its own little thing.
You just in the background, you just see Velociraptors.
Yeah.
We need to make that into a meme somehow.
Yes. In one of the Lost World movies, aren't there like Velociraptors running around?
I think so.
Doesn't somebody dream that a velociraptor is like talking to them, but somebody's trying to wake them up? Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to get us off onto a dinosaur track.
It was in her dress. That's okay. So I don't know if this guy's his contact or what, but
I took it as he is an active CIA person.
De Niro was not in.
Yeah, I just assumed that they had worked before previously, and one of them's out of the game, quote unquote, and the other one's still in. But like they're friendly enough that he's gonna do them the favor of getting the info he needs. But he's also going to report it, as we see.
It's going to come down to how you interpret what's really going on. You know what I mean?
Right. Kind of like I said at the beginning, we don't really know if at least this movie's definition of Ronin fits. We don't know if he's actually no longer CIA or if he's actually still working for them. And again, as we've said many times before, kind of the open nature of these questions that have no answers and the ambiguity just kind of lets you fill in the blanks as you see fit.
This guy just looks like a bad guy.
Having recently rewatched Lord of the Rings, he looks like he should be an orc. No offense to the actor. No offense to the actor, but yep.
And what
was that, Jacob?
There's a bunch of people that get
Well, and also priceless historical artifacts that you don't really want to be putting bullets in. Yeah, you kind of clipped out there for a second, but I think we got most of what you said.
Okay, good.
More French civilians ready to die.
All right, Jacob, make a note. Maybe don't invite Matt on any more French movies. I don't want to say vendetta, but I think he's got a vendetta.
There's nothing wrong with killing the French in movies.
Oh, God.
In the original Ultimate Comics years and years ago, Ultimate Captain America is an asshole. Sorry, Jacob, that's what to describe. And at one point, he yelled at a space alien Nazi scroll, "Do you think the A on my head stands for France?"
Oh, this gets brutal all of a sudden. Like everything else has been kind of just like normal spy stuff. Like, it's kind of passive. There's been gun battles. This gets brutal real quick.
Yeah. I felt bad for this guy, for Larry.
Yeah, he's just the driver. He's like that's the low risk, like job.
He's like this. These guys are like, "Gregor, are you okay?" It's like, "Oh, he's okay, but you're in a spot of trouble."
No, I had an image in my head. It's like, oh my God, Robert De Niro is fighting with some dude. It's all people.
This amphitheater has not seen its last death. Yeah, right here. I mean, they just open up right here. It's like, I'll shoot you and I'll shoot you. Everybody gets a bullet. You get a bullet. And you get a bullet.
You get a bullet. You get a bullet.
These bullets have the name of a Frenchman other than.
Is that Robert De Niro? It doesn't look like him. Is that a stunt double?
You're right. It doesn't. I think it was. He was just making a non-Robert De Niro face, which is unusual for him.
To do the thing, He's more accurate with that gun at like ridiculous ranges than anyone with a rifle was in this entire movie.
This is true. Including the sniper.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, earlier when he was asked what he liked for firearms, he said the 1911, and all I could think of was 2 world wars.
Mm-hmm. Like, I still think the 1911's a wonderful gun, but it's a little too heavy for me. A little too big, a little too unruly for me for, like, a concealed carry.
It's a good firearm. It doesn't carry a whole lot, so I'm kind of wondering. I kind of want to go back and see how many shots he fired, see how many reloads he'd have to do.
Oh, probably many, because it only holds, like, 7, right?
Yeah.
Reloading is not in De Niro's contract.
Reloading is in hardly any movie's contract.
Just don't
Jacob,
ask.
have the raccoons attacked you? The raccoons have struck again.
I'm back.
Oh,
Can you hear me?
The raccoons are pro French. They don't like us disparaging the French, so they're taking it out. Jacob,
like
you will fall to the raccoons.
Not the French raccoons.
don't worry, they'll run away as soon as you turn towards them or try and attack them.
Yeah.
I've probably been banned from ever going to France.
No. I'm probably banned from ever going to France.
They're probably sending a hit squad to kill me. What?
What are these stupid Americans?
I get at least swatted.
Like all of a sudden later on we all tweet out, so apparently the French were really watching. How many French came to your house?
I like this part. Oh.
Oh yeah, that's full on movie convenience, but I don't care. It works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and you're right, Beard. It gets pretty rough here. Wait, what? Did y'all notice that?
What?
Sorry, I got to do that again.
Okay.
How did he not see the guy
That was my
standing right there?
Oh, yeah.
That particular scene in this movie, I backed it up. I was like, wait a second. He was standing right there. You did not see this angry man, this angry bald man that is coming towards you?
Those ex-KGB guys just appear out of nowhere.
John Reno is like, he's French. He won't do anything. Just walk right there. A Frenchman doing something? That's Reno's look.
What? They aren't just lying down and giving up?
They're just dead set on angering an entire country.
Hey, everyone else in the European Union also do not like the French. The French don't like the French. I have proof from other Europeans that no one likes the French.
Hey, John Reno might be the greatest French actor, and he's not French. He's Spanish.
Yep.
That look just says, I did see you back there. You were standing in front of me. You're not very stealthy.
You had your chance to walk away, my friend. Mon frere, mon ami. You had your chance to walk away, mon ami. You had your chance.
You have done this to yourself.
I'm a main character, mon ami. You ain't. You're.
I got the plot armor. You don't.
Yeah. It's like, what are you wearing there? Is that level 3 armor? Yeah? Cool. I've got plot armor.
Right.
I think the raccoons may have attacked.
The raccoons have got reinforcements.
There are two Jacobs.
Oh my god!
We just see a French flag with a raccoon on it appear in Jacob's screen.
Jacob, have you returned? Have the raccoons invaded? Have they overwhelmed your forces? Yep.
We're all going to use YouTube tomorrow. France demands that we ban all of your channels for life.
All of a sudden we get like messages or I get a notification. Apparently your videos are no longer eligible for monetization in France. Okay. I wasn't monetized yet anyway.
See, that's why I don't have my own channel. I just go on to other people's shows and ruin it for them. Welcome back, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh.
Now, I want to point out with this sequence, John Reno blocked the gun, meaning that guy had no chance of shooting him to begin with. And so that's the way that scene was set up. De Niro's character didn't have to show up for Reno to actually live through that.
Yep. He just had to be there to catch a bullet.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he distracted
any Frenchman,
diverted the guy's attention, though.
It's true, yeah.
Hey, to be fair, all those dudes that fought in the French resistance during World War II, they were some pretty tough dudes.
Yeah, I give him credit.
Don't sound too enthusiastic about it, Matt.
I am colored by my grandpa and other people's experiences going through France as on the Allied invasion. Okay.
Oh, there it is. Oh.
I don't understand why he had to do that to that poor guy. All he did was be the getaway driver and make some halfway decent coffee that had ashes in it.
I think he's just kind of removing people that are no longer necessary to him.
I like this. He's like, freeze. And this guy's like, wow, that is a really nice gun.
The gun.
Just be like, yeah, take my car, but real quick, is that an Inox?
Oh,
what's up, Ego?
There you go.
What's up?
Hey, Ego.
I put up my good beard for you, man.
Seen in America. Is that a newsie? Have y'all seen Air America?
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr.
Mel Gibson and
Mel Gibson. No.
And Rob Lowe. Is it Mel with Rob Lowe?
No, Robert Downey.
Robert Downey. Okay.
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there goes my joke. Well, okay. It's like, oh, I've got to find a doctor or a vet.
Oh, yeah, he says he'll just steal whatever he needs.
I know the perfect place.
Again, playing into his character. He's the guy who knows everybody to get anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, if they redid this movie today, this guy would be some sort of weirdo.
Yeah. They better not redo it.
Well, let's team that does Reacher. They can do it.
See, I didn't go he would be some sort of weirdo. I thought if this was updated without current Hollywood's twist on things, that instead of samurai, he'd be painting like Warhammer figures or something.
Yeah. Do you know the story of the 47 Space Marines?
Hey, that sounds like it'd be a good watch.
It does. Oh, that does. That would be. Henry Cavill, if you're watching, make it so.
Please, Henry Cavill, don't fail.
Oh, I love this. He's like, talks them through how to pull the bullet out. And two, this is another thing. You know, they always, would you like some alcohol before we do this? And he's like, oh, no alcohol. Because what does alcohol do? It thins your blood.
Mm-hmm.
Making you bleed out faster.
That's actually why it was kind of the Saint Bernard trope of finding somebody lost in the snow, and they'd have that barrel underneath their on their collar, is for a very temporary fix. Increasing blood flow to your extremities can help you get out of a dangerous situation, but it does thin your blood. So in cold situations, you're more susceptible to frostbite.
Yeah.
And anytime you're undergoing surgery or even just a tattoo or something, that's why they don't want you to be drunk, is it'll bleed a whole bunch.
Well, the same thing also, alcohol doesn't freeze until you get way, way below zero.
Right.
Yeah.
So like it says, get that scalpel, and the scalpel is a hobby knife.
Yeah.
Hey, man, that might be just as sharp. You never know.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Multi-purpose tool there, man.
Had one of those roll off a desk at school one time, and a buddy caught it with the blade end down. So, they're sharp.
Yeah.
Owie.
That's painful. I get that bullet out.
So, when you get it,
I like the part, he looks at it. It's got Teflon. He sprayed it with Teflon. It's like, would that actually do that? Help a bullet to go through a vest?
To go through soft armor, I can't think that it actually would contribute much.
Yeah. I mean, unless
surely somebody out there's tested.
So the physics is about energy transfer versus, in terms of the bullet has a certain amount of momentum, right? The projectile, whatever it is, right? And it's encountering resistance constantly to air, to barriers, and whatever. So it's transferring energy via heat and shockwaves, depending on what you're hitting. So the question is going to be, would whatever you coat it with reduce the amount of energy transfer?
Yeah.
Now, if it's something like Teflon, it will reduce the amount of friction for sure, because it would reduce the static coefficient of friction.
Right.
Now, whether that would reduce the amount of concussive transfer, that I can't tell you.
Yeah, I mean, there's always the option there that it's going to reduce the friction, but is it going to be enough to actually pierce? That's the question.
Yeah. I like what he says here too. Can you sew that up on your own? I'm going to pass out now. I like this part too. It's like, are you going to kill me? I'm not going to kill you. And the guy's like, okay, let me take my glasses off.
He knows what's about to happen. All right.
Yeah. Don't break my glasses. So, is this the same place they were at earlier?
I think it's
Or is
different.
this another safe? Okay.
I think it's supposed to be different, but they could have filmed it the same place.
Yeah.
Just like another room in that building or whatever.
Because I assume this is one of his safe houses, not hers or the group's.
Right. She's like, "Did you have to kill Larry?" And he's like, "Oh, was that his name?"
Savage,
the other
man.
thing I was thinking about is the wheelchair guy who, like, she, I guess, contacted to get all of these people. Like, I would think that he'd be a little upset. Like, hey, dude, I gave you some, like, great, like, people for your op, and you just murked them?
Thank you. I run a business here. Doesn't help my business.
Right? That was my thought. I was just like,
I was
if
gonna
I was the
say
wheelchair
something.
guy, I'd be upset.
I was gonna say something discouraging about another race of people. Sorry. I'll keep my tongue.
There's nothing wrong with the French.
Oh, probably have an email from YouTube.
Guys,
Like,
please SWAT.
Not really allowed to say those things. Like, am I not really? I thought everyone didn't like the French. Well, yeah, but you can't say that.
Hey, my DNA
We're
says
all
I'm
white people. We're white people making fun of white
French.
people.
I'm allowed to criticize my own people.
Again, it is both something I enjoy in this movie, but it's also annoying. As this guy is just introduced, he does this thing, they have a little conversation, we find out nothing about him.
Yeah,
I'm cool with it.
like,
I
what
the whole
did he do? Or you know, but you have the other hand though, where you can go too far. What?
Okay.
What?
Because of the screen obscurement, second whereas Paris is.
Oh, I see it now.
I see it too.
What has been seen cannot be unseen. It's not me, it's there. You see what I see.
That's not an A, that's a U from now on.
Gosh, Matt.
It's just there. I'm not just pointing it out.
I would have pointed it out too.
I don't know if I've seen anything else in here or any other channel where I've been on a panel with Matt that has broken him just like that did.
Oh man. Clip it, people, clip it. He's like, it better be here in the morning, Gregor. And I love the look she gives, like, it better be here.
You gonna kill him again? You gonna kill somebody else? Fine.
We're gonna kill you, and then we're gonna kill you again. So his little model sets are pretty impressive, actually.
Yeah.
That's a cool hobby. I know someone used to do that.
Yeah. I've only dabbled.
I don't mean like the
some
painting
Warhammer.
miniatures my hobby. I mean the people actually make the, craft all the little figurines from wood and stuff like that.
Okay, I know his bullet wound wasn't exactly deep. It's fairly superficial, but still, stay in bed, man. Relax a little bit.
He just needed a nap and a cup of coffee. It fixed everything.
It's his Italian-American constitution. No French bullets can hold him down. I love all the
Tells him
interaction.
story about the
guy.
47.
This mysterious guy that's just there, you know, of all the whole scene. It's almost like Tom Bombadil. Like they never explain it, but it's like a nice calm moment in the story, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's actually a pretty good analogy.
Yeah. He tells the story of the 47 Ronin that some other guy, Lord, killed their Lord. And they got revenge, which made them lose. What is it?
If I remember the story correctly,
they
were ordered not to get revenge.
So they committed seppuku.
Yeah.
Right. So they disgraced themselves, so they had to commit ritual suicide.
This is YouTube. You have to say sewer slide.
What now?
I said this is YouTube. You have to say sewer slide.
What now? I cut out there for a minute.
Oh, don't worry. It was a nothing joke. Don't worry about it.
You're not allowed to say words on YouTube.
Yeah, chat comes and goes, man, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, chat is overwhelmed by our love for the French, so they're just silent in awe.
Yeah, they realize that we love our French brothers and sisters. Yeah.
People of France,
yes,
you have my support.
I'm sure they are very grateful.
Oh, now we got beef starting in the chat.
How dare you?
Thanks for sticking around, guys.
Zach knows what the French are like. He lives in Canada. They have a whole province full of them.
How much longer until Matt starts an international incident?
I don't know.
That's the question.
We'll hear in the news tomorrow.
YouTuber starts war with French.
YouTuber brought to international trial of the International Criminal Court in The Hague. That's right on board. My brother Zach, you understand?
Oh, yes.
Sorry, we derailed everything for a minute there.
Yeah, it went crazy.
Yeah, about this point where everybody's got their complete own goals.
Yeah, it's just come down to basically like you know, like we still don't know that De Niro is like what he's really doing yet, what Sam is really doing. And John Reno and him are like buddy. You know they're like that. So
yeah.
And they did establish that sort of brief romantic connection between Deirdre and Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone hates Grieger and wants him to die, more than want the French to, die.
I do have to say, De Niro's reactions when he's driving here were pretty realistic. He's calm yet.
Mm-hmm.
You believe that he feels that he's in control of the vehicle, regardless of what it's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's called acting, people.
Acting. Again with the sedans. It's just, I don't know why it stood out to me so much. It's just not what you expect when you're thinking high-speed chase. But it is practical when you have more than, say, 2 people in a vehicle.
I mean, this model of BMW were in so many action movies in the 90s.
Yeah. It was overall really popular. I think the other vehicle is I'm going to pronounce this incorrectly.
Renault?
A Renault.
A Renault? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Renault.
I don't know if it's the car, but that's how you pronounce that.
I can't pronunciate words.
Yeah, because earlier I think there was a Citroen. I'm probably pronouncing that improperly too.
Yeah.
And I definitely saw a Renault at some point. I don't know if it's this chase or the previous one. Oh, and this cop who's just happens to like show up and be like, "Oh, hey, work to do."
One of my
it's like, oh, they have guns.
I had to take a couple languages in high school,
Backs
so I
up
wanted
real
to
fast.
take Spanish. And my Spanish teacher says one day, to speak French, all you have to do is sneer when you say the words.
Yeah, and this police guy does not have a good day.
Nope.
More difference.
Oh, that's coming out of my paycheck, isn't it?
I mean,
dang it.
That police car isn't stopping much.
Whenever I see like these scenes near the rivers of France, I think of like Highlander, the TV show, with all the scenes they shot in those rivers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking of all the racing video games I've played that have had tracks go around that same waterfront and road.
Didn't one of the Tomb Raider games have a boat chase through the French rivers?
I don't recall, but I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, one of the good Tomb Raider games before they made Lara Croft look horrible.
Yes. Just don't acknowledge those. It's like the Star Wars movies that don't exist.
What? What Star Wars movies?
I don't know.
There's only 6.
I'm sorry. I just had a little bit of a stroke there for a second. I'm back. Don't worry.
I don't know what you're talking about.
This chase part here by the bridge reminds me of the chase in The French Connection. I don't know if y'all have seen that movie.
Well, the director of this, I know he did The French Connection 2. Did he do The French Connection 1?
I don't know.
But it's supposed to remind you of The French Connection. That's like the signature film of this genre.
Yeah.
Yet another movie where many French people die.
Bridge Connection 1 is not listed on his IMDb.
Okay.
So it looks like he just did the second.
That's a nice shot.
That's actually a good catch for like muzzle. I mean, it's mostly just lighting on the smoke and such, but considering like frame rates with film, you very often don't catch a full kind of flash like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sad.
See, I'm torn because I'm like, do I bring in the chat like interaction or do I not perpetuate what Matt has started?
I mean, we have made sure to remind everyone that not even the French like French because many of the French people were getting mowed down, and they're like, "Oh, well."
Oh my goodness.
Zax and I have discussed our love of the wonderful people of France in other streams.
Yeah. There's
I
so
love how
many
this-
people on this road just going to get coffee that end up with their cars wrecked or upside down.
Yeah. It's like
I love how
literally,
this
I was
chase
joking,
ends.
but the amount of people in France, like just like a 1 week time period or whatever, died. They'd be calling this the French 9/11.
Yes.
And I love this. People,
What's
I
going on?
misunderstand. I love this movie. People misunderstand. I love this movie, but you know, sometimes you watch it 3 or 4 times, you start to see things like, Paris is, you know what I mean? I've seen them never. You can't. It's just something you just look for deeper and deeper, and eventually you stare too deep into the abyss, and it starts staring back.
Yeah.
I love how that chase ends like that. They flip and they're about to stop, and then they run into him and push him over the edge.
I mean, as a kid, there were some pretty massive overpasses in the Houston area, kind of where I am. And the fear of just like, I can't see over what we're about to drive. I can't see what we're about to drive. Are we just going to fall off? That's a real thing, man.
It's crazy. Some of those are really high too.
Yeah. There's a causeway between the mainland and South Padre Island that sometime many years ago, part of it collapsed, and it was kind of at the peak, and traffic didn't see it, and so cars just kept kind of going off before people actually were able to react. And I've driven over that as an adult, and it still made there was puckering.
When I was a kid,
Galveston has a pretty
high school
tall one too.
Oh yeah.
There was a bridge we had to walk across, where it had like this metal grate that the squares were like this big, and it was at like 300 feet above the ground. And it was like a 100-foot section of the bridge you had to walk across, and I froze. They had to actually carry me into a van because
Yeah. Get the case.
Yes.
It's got the skates in it. We got to get the skates.
This would be like a what's it called? Naked Gun movie.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a case. Get the case. The little girls have chains connecting their wrists to the cases.
Oh my god!
They pull out guns.
I live in Southeast Texas, so I just have to assume that ice skates aren't cheap. So, you might want to chain them to your wrist.
Yeah. So they find out, oh, wait. So that's what Gregor did. They're trying to find Gregor, and they're like thinking, well, where would we find him? And they notice these girls have like the exact same case that they were trying to get. And it's like, oh, the Russians made him a case to blow us up with. So they figure out we're going to go find the Russians.
It's always the Russians.
It's always the Russians.
Nah, it's the
One of
French.
these days, it's not going to be the Russians, and we're going to be like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, in Russian movies, it's always the Americans.
Always. Americans.
Which is surprising, considering the country they've been at war with for like 1,000 years is China.
Yeah. Is this woman an actual ice skater?
Let's find out.
Yeah, that's Katarina Witt.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
I just scroll down to a bit of trivia that, since you're a family-friendly channel, I'm not going to read. Let's close that. Sorry.
Oh my god. Jacob, you're muted.
Did he get raccooned?
The raccoon struck again.
You know, eventually that's going to become like some like Urban Dictionary slang, and we won't be able to use that anymore as a verb.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know her as a ice skater, but apparently.
Well, I remember her being kind of hot when she was young, or when I was younger, I should say. But then all those figure skaters are. You know what I mean?
I mean, with the amount of like, with the amount of like cardio and stuff.
Yeah.
She was a longtime companion of Richard Dean Anderson, MacGyver, and
yeah,
yeah, she was.
That's cool. He was a good guy. I like him in Stargate.
MacGyver has a tool for anything.
Jacob, you have an army building.
I'll keep that in mind, OT. Thank you.
Oh my goodness, she was called the most beautiful face of socialism.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh boy.
What a thing to be known for.
All right, I got to close that because I'm just going to be going down a trivia rabbit hole.
Well, but yeah, that was before the Soviet Union fell and all that sort of stuff, you know?
Yeah, it's true.
Why is she with such an ugly dude, man?
Isn't he supposed to be our dad or uncle or something?
Not
I don't think so. Not by that picture right there.
They were doing that.
Well, in some European countries, that's what you do. Like, you still kiss your children on the lips or whatnot. That's acceptable.
That's weird. That's weird.
It is.
Italians do that. They kiss on the lips like that.
I mean, maybe, but I got the feeling that he was like into her, not like related to.
I mean, I thought so too until like 15 minutes later when he's just like, oh well.
Yeah.
I can always get another ice skater.
Right?
She's like, the man is here with the ice skates, sir.
Quote unquote ice skates.
The ice skates, are you sure?
What's up, Jay?
What's up?
What?
I don't know.
I don't get it.
I think we're probably a couple minutes behind that response.
Probably.
Wow, that old pre-digital technology for audio and video mixing.
Yeah.
Actually, this is 1998. So this is just after Babylon 5 would have made Lightwave 3D a household product. So this would have been when the transformation was beginning.
This is like, I have a sniper that will kill her if I don't leave here, if I don't call him. It's like, did you not hear what I said?
Yeah, because you totally expect him to be just like, okay, fine, and give in. Because of everything we've seen so far, granted it hadn't been too much, but he's just kind of like, nah, I got what I need.
Yep. I can get a new ice skater for those skates. And he's like, I can just find it. these ice skates wouldn't have fit the other ice skater, so I can find a new.
Right?
These skates aren't her size. I'll find somebody else.
And everybody's running. Ah.
Ah. I know for the last almost month we've had explosions and gunfire and all of this, but now we run.
I mean, again, you just
Get out of here.
you don't really get to know anybody in this film, and I don't care. Like, normally that would annoy me.
No.
But I mean, like, the dude shows up, he gets at the case, he lets his girlfriend get killed, and runs outside. He gets shot, and his part's done in the story. And I'm not annoyed by it. It works.
Yeah. And De Niro's like, get out of here. Go on.
Run away.
Come with me.
It's like,
Nope,
you're hot. Save yourself.
Get out of France before the French come.
And he's like, I never left. I never left. Meaning
the CIA.
He's still with the CIA.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This guy's like, oh no. You'll never catch me alive. These are my ice skates.
I will look fabulous skating with these.
I will
Zach.
ice skate with Will Ferrell.
So it would
Later,
have been
Zach.
funny if, as he's about to die,
Later,
he
Zach.
opens the case and it's a picture of Nelson from The Simpsons going, yeah.
Hmm.
It's like, you're a
Oh, he got the
time.
Clint Eastwood shot in the shoulder.
Yeah. It'll be fine. Give it a week. It'll be gone.
Give it 5 minutes, it'll be fine.
His Italian regeneration is already healing him. Later, Zach.
Rome will rise again. I'm sorry.
Jay.
Like, they go back to that same little bar or area. I'm like, she's not going to come back here. No,
You done told her you were CIA, so
There were a bunch of alternative endings to this. Some where she gets killed, some where she comes back, and you know.
So,
hmm.
yeah, I kind of looked at some of those. I didn't read over all of them. I mean, usually with alternate endings, they're kind of interesting, but not necessarily better.
I mean, sometimes it could be a little bit better.
What they did, the way they did it, what it says about the story is to me is that even if she comes back, they still can't be together because she's an IRA terrorist and he's a CIA agent. You know?
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's a good point.
Sorry, there's a fly landing on my mic.
I've had those.
I like this. He's like, if it wasn't for this cast, I can't get any money out of my pocket. And it's like, oh, I'll get it.
Yeah, these two, it's like a weird, almost buddy cop movie at certain points. Like, they never really learn anything about each other, but they respect each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like in the setting this movie exists, which I'm glad they never made a sequel, but you get the impression that these two would work together in the future.
Yeah.
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 Like if he does work in Europe, I know a guy, and I'll get that guy.
It's always good to build up your network, especially in that kind of business.
And there it is, people.
I mean, because there was that point earlier on, like Rob De Niro's character, Sam, whatever his name is, Sam, he had a CIA contact. And then later on, Vincent had his contact at the, where the ice skating thing was happening. And both their responses to who's that is, I went to school with him. But I kind of got the feeling that Vincent might have actually gone to school with that guy, because later on when they have to get past him, he just looks at Sam and basically tells Sam, you have to punch him. I couldn't live with myself. Mm-hmm. So, but I don't know why that stood out to me.
Yeah.
It'd be a thing.
And it ends the way it began, with Ronin.
Yep.
Don't.
I was expecting the girl at some point in time to just like run by or something.
Jay.
Well, she would have. Logically speaking, she would have to disappear because she's involved in, I don't know, the death of hundreds of French citizens or whatever.
But so are all of them.
Well, yeah, but he has cover. The other dude's obviously a local, so he knows how to blend in. She's a known IRA terrorist, so they'd be sending like MI6 and MI5 after her and stuff like that.
Yeah. I was gonna say
that's like in Burn Notice, Fiona. If anyone ever watched Burn Notice, she had to leave Europe because she was
because she killed too many French people.
She was like a mad bomber all across Europe.
The French remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me of that guy from The Incredibles, the bomber dude. The bomber.
My super suit.
Did anyone ever watch the original Tick cartoon?
I forget what his name was. The what cartoon?
The original Tick cartoon.
Tick?
Yeah.
The
mad bomber, what bombs at midnight?
They don't make cartoons like that anymore. Oh. There's probably a reason though, because it was it was really weird.
Yeah.
Spoon.
Spoon.
And now people in the chat are like, what? You had to be there. You had to be there.
Yeah, if it's something I've seen and anybody else hasn't seen, talk about uncultured.
Batmanuel. Yeah. And it had a toned down American made for the cartoon because of how she was depicted in the comic. God, I should go watch that. I miss it.
Yeah. So any last thoughts on this one?
Really good movie.
Answers no questions.
Well, it did. What was De Niro's mission? That's the one question answered.
Yeah, that's the only question that gets answered.
I like how they just go.
Don't care.
And the next day, in the Northern IRA, declare peace. It's like this one guy got killed.
Yeah.
It's like the plot to Patriot Games. Remember the Tom Clancy novel? Basically, that one rogue group of the IRA caused all that chaos. Yeah. Which Sean Bean, by the way, played that guy. If you remember. If you remember the movie,
they list all the, gunfights all over France, and then in other news,
correlation.
The Americans win. An American ice skater wins all the medals.
What?
She was set to face off against Katarina Witt, who was mysteriously killed by gunfire
in France, amongst all the other gunfire that was happening in France. But this one was the weird one.
Yeah.
I could not imagine being like just this average French, and they're just like, what's going on?
What is happening? I do not know. What is happening?
Why are there
What is all
explosions
this
and
loud-
random gunfire?
Loud popping noises.
There's one of the
I
scenes
didn't
where they're
know it was Bastille Day.
Tanya Harding. I thought that before. I'm like, like the bell, the Russian guy would go, I will bring this to Tanya now. So I was thinking, yeah.
Yes, he was.
Well,
Actually, that's what we were talking about earlier, Jay. Was he actually an imbecile or was he pretending to be an imbecile?
yeah. It's a lot of interesting, ways to interpret those events. But
Yeah.
there's one scene, I remember watching it. That's what hit me, like the whole, like all these French people are dying in this movie. Like they're at one of the bistros or whatever, and De Niro and they're all built with machine guns, and the French people drop like dominoes in the bistro. They're like, what are they filming? Like this is,
But that's what the French do, Matt. They get injured and they just lay down.
I was saying, these are supposed to be covert operatives, highly skilled, and they're having a gunfight with just randomly mowing down every single thing.
I mean, I think we can all agree that this movie is mostly kind of spy thriller, but still has like a tinge of early 90s, late 80s action movie that just kind of creeps in every now and then.
Well, the contrast, I actually watched this scene. Did anyone ever watch this Terminator: The Sarah Connor Chronicles?
Mm-mm.
No.
I caught an episode every now and then, but I didn't watch much of it.
The first season is actually great. It's the one sequel to Terminator that's really good. And at the end of the first season, the Terminator, it's a T-850. He's called Cromartie, right? And there's a great scene at the end where the FBI goes to try to take him out. They don't know he's a Terminator, though, right? And he does what a Terminator does to Johnny Cash's The Man Comes Around, but he doesn't kill anyone like unnecessary. You know what I mean? Like, and then there's another scene where he goes to Mexico to try to get John Connor, and he only kills the one shooting it. Like he's efficient. He doesn't. Whereas in this movie, they're gunning like they're spraying and praying, Or De Niro, hey.
No one cares about the French.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking the choices of the director more than the actual plot is what I'm getting on. Like, it's supposed to be a movie about elite spies. That's really covert action, but out of nowhere, these scenes where he just lets them gun down random French people.
No one is going to miss them.
We need 300 more French extras to die in the next scene.
Oh my God. Your country, give it to me. Sorry, we went off the rails there again.
Yes. It's fun to go off the rails sometimes.
Yeah, it is.
Now, Jacob, who is watching Sharp, is going to have all this stuff we're ragging on the French about while he's watching Sharp, and it's all going to come back again. It takes place in the Napoleonic Wars.
And Sean Bean's in it. So.
Yes. Who plays the main character, Sharp.
Yes.
Yeah. Who teams up with an Irish guy, incidentally, to take out French people.
Yes.
It's all connected.
So, guys, what do y'all have coming up? Beard.
I think my next thing is going to be probably with most of us here, Thursday for Roman's free range.
Romano.
So, that can go anywhere. He's got a list of things to talk about. We'll probably talk about two of them and then derail everything for, we don't want to infect Jacob's stream.
We all know what's going to happen for Thursday. We know. The Scissor family will assemble again.
The Scissors.
But other than that, people can usually catch me not only on my on X at Beard of Liberty, but always on Mondays and every other Saturday at After the Weekend with my buddies JT and R2. There we go.
Cool. Camouflage Boathouse. What do you got, Kelly?
Viva la France!
The French are. I'm calling it now. Like all of our channels, we're gonna get a notice saying that our videos are no longer allowed in France.
Oh my god, man!
What in France? What do I got? Masters of the Episode 2. I gotta watch that maybe tonight, so I'll do the video for it tomorrow. Did you watch it yet, Jacob?
I've seen the first 2 episodes.
I thought the first episode was okay, and I said in my review, like you gotta you can only judge it how the series goes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll have to see on that, and we'll talk about it obviously in the future. I don't know if you guys are watching that or not. If you're into that historical war stuff. But there's like the third part to Band of Brothers, the Pacific, Master of the Air.
Right.
What else are coming up? I'll watch the next episode of Sharp probably in a couple days, so I get that out. Got my Friday Fandemonium this Friday. Because of the death of Gary Graham, who played, among other things, Ambassador Saval on Star Trek Enterprise and in Star Trek fan films, like probably the best Star Trek fan film, which is better than any Star Trek film produced this century, is The Prelude to Axanar, a 20-minute Star Trek fan film. He was also in Star Trek Renegade as a different character, and that was Gary Graham. He played, Matt Sykes in the Alien Agent TV show. Played Achilles in Robot Jocks. But anyway, the point I'm getting at is, since he died, I talked about it on my last week's Friday show, I've been rewatching a lot of Star Trek fan films, and I realized there are at least 20 or 30 Star Trek fan films made in this century better than any Star Trek film or TV show made in this century. I don't mean that in a bad because the quality. I mean, obviously, quality is low of official Trek, but the quality of some of these shows, like Star Trek Continues, with that's where Vic Mignogna played Kirk in 8 episodes.
That's really good.
That was awesome. Because that's technically free. I might be able to live watch that and talk about it live, type of thing. I got to see. Then there's like I said, the Axanar stuff with Prelude to Axanar, and then. Bit by bit, because of the lawsuit, they have to release Axanar as a big movie, but it's like 50-minute chunks. So I think the rest of it will come out in the next year or so. That's going to be Gary Graham and Richard Hatch's last performance. Richard Hatcher was the original Apollo in classic Battlestar Galactica. So that's on my agenda. Assuming I deal with this PC problem I'm dealing with. Roman show tomorrow, Thursday, the open topic. The next Thursday on Roman's show is Dune 1984, theatrical edition. What else we got? Jacob, what's up next with you? What's this Saturday show?
I'll do Mando first, and then I'll tell.
Don't forget about
Mando.
me.
Go ahead.
Tomorrow I will be streaming on my Twitch and Kick channel playing a game called Possessions. It is I'm going to be playing that game a lot more often, and I'm getting back into streaming because I took a break for a little while. And I am sponsored by the game company that has created Possession. So yeah, you're going to be seeing me play that game quite a bit more, and will not play it into the ground. But yeah.
I caught one of the streams. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a fun game. Yeah. It's definitely got some bugs that need to be worked on. But I mean, for a brand new company creating one of their first games, and they're also looking for game streamers. So if you stream and you play games, they let me know and I can connect you. But yeah, that I'm going to be doing that tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and then Thursday I'll be on Roman's show, and then for the rest of the week I'm not really sure what's going on. There's supposed to be stuff that's happening, but I'm not going to say anything because last time I said something they were like, actually we moved the date and you didn't pay attention. So yeah.
I will translate that for our French audience. Le Mando, je le game.
Yes, the theme song was terrible. They should have went with Archer's theme, which was much better.
There was a lot to be terrible about Enterprise. There was some stuff wasn't bad, but there was a lot to be bad.
Compared to the stuff today, yeah, it's better, in my opinion. But yeah, I'll be on Roman's show Thursday, and I'm not going to do anything Saturday. Take a little break, and next Tuesday, because of this Friday is Groundhog Day. So Tuesday, I'm going to be doing the movie
The French
Groundhog
Connection.
Day. So that'll the French Connection. How many French die in that one?
And then the next Tuesday, you'll be doing Groundhog Day again, and then the one after, and the one after.
Yes, and the one after. Well, thank y'all for coming on. Had a good discussion about this, apart from the raccoons. And thanks to the chat for hanging with us. And I will be going off to fight some French raccoons.
Vive la revolution!
La France!
Y'all have a good week, and we'll see y'all next time. Bye.
Bye, y'all.